What is going on, everybody? It's me, Micah, back with another video. Back here to talk about Kenobi, or Obi Wan Kenobi, episode 6, the finale. What may be rumored to be the season finale for the show. Yes, rumors spiked up within the last couple weeks of a potential season 2 for this show because the ratings were the views were so high for episodes 1 and 2. So they seem like they may have prematurely greenlit a season 2. I'll explain why it was premature in a second, but if you're interested in know my thoughts, of course, as always, ignite that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so I would notice my videos on my live stream, so I would sit back, relax, see what's cracking, and let me know down in the comment section below what you guys thought about Obi Wan Kenobi as a whole. This episode, what were your favorite moments? What were some things that didn't make sense to you? Let me know down in the comment section below. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Now, let's get into my thoughts. I would say, yes, the last 2 to 3 episodes were great for the show, but at the same time, it was kind of like a little all over the place. The focal points for Obi-Wan, and from what we've known about his journey and his connection with Luke specifically, we just didn't get none of that in this season up until the very end of this episode, and even then he had nothing to really do with the situation. He sensed Luke's endangerment, but he didn't have anything to do with it. As we know, Reva changed course at the end of the last episode because she got played by Vader, thinking she was about to play Vader, and she sought out to, you know, exact revenge on his son, but couldn't do it. How she put together that was his kid is also interesting, considering Organa didn't say that in that message. So how she put 2 and 2 together that was basically his kid, or that it would have had any real importance to him, also kind of made no sense. And if her whole drive and motivation to take out Vader was as a result of him taking out, or trying to take out her and her friends, then why would you go and do the exact same thing he did by potentially taking out kids as well? So that was a weird conflict that we saw with her. And really, at the end of the day, it ended up painting a picture of nothing for the character of Reva. I think she would have been better off maybe having her own show and journey with, you know, Green Arrow style flashbacks of where she's at now within the Inquisitorship, and then her flashbacks of Order 66, her getting potentially tortured and groomed into being an Inquisitor. I think she would have done a whole lot better having her own series, short limited series, somewhere around, you know, 4 to 6 episodes, limited series event, and no season 2. But instead, they made her more of the focal point. Almost, it felt like more than Obi-Wan, and it was his show. I mean, you could even argue Vader was almost more of the focal point in this, you know, and not Obi-Wan, which on one hand is cool because we get to see more of Vader, but it's the Obi Wan Kenobi show. So of course I'm expecting to want to see more about Kenobi. The show sucked up too much time with him chasing after Leia. Got annoying. By the way, the actress that plays little Leia, amazing. And I think that there was half of what they did really worked out. I would even say like 60, 65, 70% of what they did between Obi-Wan and Leia really worked well. It was just we had too many chases going on with her. It became very repetitive and boring, and basically you could telegraphing. That's the word I was looking for. I mean, you could predict what was going to happen. We know that Vader lives, we know Leia lives, we know Obi-Wan lives. So where's the real danger with these characters from that perspective? And of course, we knew that other people ended up having to suffer at their expense. But I would say overall, like, the show bumped to be like a 6.5, 7 out of 10 for me. This last episode in particular, clearly fan service, didn't really make a lot of sense for the story, but very fan servicey for Star Wars fans. The reason why I say that is because it kind of makes entirely no sense. No, even though they tried to set it up in the story, they tried to have Obi-Wan and Vader rendezvous on a random Star Wars planet to duke it out. Fan service wise, you're like, yo, we about to get the fight, baby. Ooh, wait. Story wise, don't make no sense. why they would essentially meet up and schedule a lightsaber fight on this planet. I know Obi-Wan had to, steer him or steer them clear of the people, but it ultimately also just didn't make any sense. And then the fight was a little slow to begin with. I did like the combination of lightsaber play and the Force at works between both Vader and Kenobi. So the fight definitely picked up as it went on, and then Vader tried to bury Kenobi, and he was using the Force to protect himself. And then instead of calling back maybe Qui-Gon, or Qui-Gon actually finally shows himself in this moment to reinvigorate Obi-Wan to survive and push through those boulders and rocks, he calls upon all the thoughts of Leia, which, is cute, but not something that we were really expecting from Kenobi. So he ends up doing that to get out the rocks. They duel again. Obi-Wan's putting the hands on him, putting the lightsaber on him. And then there was this scene where he summoned rocks, like Tony Stark summoning the Jericho missiles in the first Iron Man movie, and it looked very corny. Interesting, but corny, because even the way that it was shot, it like Obi was like, it looked like he was like smirking while he was doing it. It was very kind of weird. So like, please don't do that again. It just seems so uncharacteristic of Obi-Wan as well. But he summoned a bunch of boulders and stones and started throwing them at Vader, and then fighting, he was able to slice some of the helmet off. So we got to see the very emotional scene of Anakin Skywalker and Obi having a conversation. And then Obi-Wan left him again. Left him there to hang again. I guess he ended up getting himself back to his castle, Vader. Had a quick conversation with Palpatine, which was interesting. I wasn't necessarily expecting to see Sidious pop up in this, but he popped up, and Sidious is questioning and has concerns over Vader's temperament or mindset because of Obi-Wan, and feels he's weak or can't get the job done. And of course, he's got to try to reassure Palpatine that he got this under control, because he does fear being replaced. So that was interesting. And then, of course, Reva trying to go after Luke, all to just not take him out, because, of course, Luke can't die because, the rest of Star Wars. And that was like, meh. And then it almost looked like, or an insinuation of her wanting to bury her lightsaber on the planet. I'm like, is this the planet where we just bury lightsabers? Like, man, very just same note. So you have that, and then Obi talked to her and basically consoled her, but then also was like, hey, what you want to do now, that's up to you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and then he got to meet Luke officially at the end of this episode, which was nice. And then, finally, Qui-Gon Jinn popped up. Finally. Even Obi-Wan had to say, I thought you'd never show. I thought you'd never come. Because it really took to the last like 15 seconds to get Qui-Gon Jinn to pop up in this series. But I think that's their spin and twist, if that was reshot or re-edited to open the door for a season 2. Because Qui-Gon says, come now, we got a long journey ahead of us, basically. Meaning, or a long way to go, one of the two. Again, insinuating that Obi-Wan's going to do more training, it seems like, to prepare himself for that moment with Vader and Ben Kenobi later on in the Star Wars trilogies. So that might be part of season 2. Season 2 may also be, in fact, Obi-Wan finally actually protecting Luke. So, that's going to be interesting. Maybe, he'll be aged up a little bit. Maybe we'll even get him. Maybe they'll give us a live action fight between him and Darth Maul, and him finishing off Maul. Like, that would be interesting if they do a season 2. They would definitely have to do proper fan service that makes sense for the story and canon as well to really win us over. But yeah, as I said, the series as a whole, like a 6.5, 7 out of 10 for me. This episode was definitely like in the 8. 7.5, 8 out of 10 category, but the show overall 7 out of 10. And that's really because of the last 3 episodes. They really made up for a lot of the first 3 episodes. I mean, I think I would even. No, yeah. Yeah, because episode 3 was. Well, episode 3 was I. Just because that's when we got Vader's presence coming through that city, yanking people around, and Obi-Wan looking scared to fight him. I actually appreciate that. I actually thought that was actually good. So yeah, I'm sitting at a nice hot, strong 7 out of 10 for Obi-Wan Kenobi. So again, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure to like the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you next my videos on my live streams. So we sit back, it's cracking with your man Michael signing out until the next video or live stream. Wait for it and keep it gaming.